Computer. All right, it's now recording. All right, so I'm Christina Rose Campbell. This is my husband Kenneth, and we have been with Young Living for 21 years. We are in the top 3% of the company. We are platinums in Young Living and have been for about 7 years. I am a nationally registered certified master aromatherapist with a bachelor's degree in holistic nutrition, and my dream, my vision, my passion, my goal is to help you. I am here for you. I am not here for myself. I am here for you. I want to answer any questions that you have. I want to teach you to the best of my ability. I feel that it's a talent that God has placed on my heart, and I want to share that with you. So let's get started. The first thing that I really want to kind of get in your mind is that there is a very strong connection between what we smell and our emotions. The Journal of Medical Science has now proven that smell produces thought. There are certain smells that you'll smell that will bring you back to a moment in your childhood just like that. Or it'll bring you back to a situation that was maybe unpleasant. Maybe if you smell chocolate chip cookies baking in the oven, you'll think of your mom or your grandmother. Now, I love to tell the story. My favorite scent, because it makes me think of my grandmother, is cow manure. And I know you're probably shaking your head. What the devil? Yeah. Why cow manure? Because my grandmother was a dairy farmer. And we used to spend a month out of every summer when we were little with our grandmother. There were 3 kids. It was me and 2 brothers. And each of us got a month to spend with grandma alone. And she raised hogs, and she had 350 chickens, and she had a dairy farm. And those were some of the most enjoyable times of my life. I loved my grandmother and I loved her farm. And so when I smell manure, I have loving thoughts. I have thoughts of my grandmother. I want you to learn how essential oils can do the same thing. They communicate with our brain. And they do this for the purpose of not only giving us emotional targets, but they can heal emotional issues. They can release negative thought patterns, and they can help us to live a more victorious life. So this is the connection between smell and emotions. Also, I want you to understand energy. I want you to understand life energy and the vibrational energy that are in our essential oils. Quantum physicists have confirmed the reality of the basic vibratory essence of life. This was written by Dr. C. Normal Shealy, who was an MD and a PhD. He actually stated that energy is not static, it's kinetic. In other words, it moves. Everything moves. Everything is made up of molecules. All matter moves. All matter. So even the solid desk that I'm sitting at, or a solid granite rock, it has a molecular structure. And even though it doesn't breathe, it has a vibratory essence. And they've even been able to measure the vibratory frequency of different types of stones. So an emerald may have a higher frequency than maybe a rose quartz, or a granite rock will be a lower vibrational frequency than a diamond. So they're able to measure that. The Tai Chi masters and the acupuncturists have known this for untold generations. They knew about this energy, and they called it chi. And they saw chi in the plants and chi in our bodies, and they would select different herbs and foods for their patients on the basis of the electro energy that those foods or herbs contained, to bring up the energy of the person, to bring up the chi of the person. So let's talk about that vibrational frequency for just a minute. Frequency is defined as a measurable rate of electrical energy flow that is constant between 2 points. And everything, like I said, has an electrical frequency. And what an incredible discovery it was for me to learn that essential oils contain frequencies, and that these frequencies are several times greater than the frequencies of herbs and foods. So we're going to look at those. First of all, we're going to look at the human body. A healthy human body from head to toe typically has a frequency ranging from about 62 to 78 megahertz, while disease has its own vibrational frequency. So I believe that it's a cold or flu has a vibrational frequency of 58. And then as you get lower in frequency, you're going to hit typhoid fever or cancer or Epstein-Barr. And then they'll go lower and lower until the body is at a state of death. But even at a state of death, the body's vibratory rate is still moving at about 42 megahertz, because now it's going to start going through the decomposition process. And so it's still moving. Those molecules are changing. It's amazing. Every organ in our body, including our brain, has a different frequency, but overall, the whole body's frequency ranges between 62 and 78. The higher the frequency we keep our body, the stronger our immunity is, the more energy we feel, and the healthier we are. So that is our goal. Our goal is to feel healthy and to be healthy. So when we look at food, we first want to look at canned food. Canned food has 0 megahertz. 0. There is no vibrational frequency that you can get from food. It's from canned food. It's dead. It's totally dead. It cannot be measured. Whereas fresh produce has a vibrational frequency of 15 megahertz. Dry herbs from 12 to 22 megahertz. Fresh herbs from 20 to 27 megahertz. And essential oils start at 46 megahertz and go as high as 700. Now, the last time I updated this slide, it was 522 megahertz, which was the frequency of blue cypress. And many years before that, when I first got into Young Living and started doing research, becoming an aromatherapist and everything, I found that rose oil, and at that time they were saying rose oil is the highest vibratory, it has the highest vibratory frequency at 320 megahertz. But we have oils now that are vibrating, they have a frequency of 700. I'm just going to list 3 of them for you. Hung Kwai is one of them. I have a roller ball on my bottle of Hung Kwai, and I have it in my car. And before I walk and after I walk, I roll that on my hand, I rub my hands together, and I just breathe it in. Because those of you who know me know that I walk 5 miles every single day. Every day. And I've been doing that for quite a few years now. Few years. I don't know, 3, 4, 5. Somewhere right there. I used to run, but I walk now. So Hung Kwai is over 700 megahertz. The second one that I'm going to give you is Idaho Grand Fir, formerly known as Idaho Balsam Fir. That name has now been changed, and so it's Idaho Grand Fir. The third oil is Northern Lights Black Spruce. And we believe that part of the reason that that particular oil is vibrating at such a high frequency is because Fort Nelson, which is in British Columbia, gets the frequency of the Northern Lights on those trees. Now, there's something else that many of you don't know, especially if you're new on one of my classes. I have mentioned this in the past, but when I talk about the distillation of Young Living essential oils, I was part of the distillation team 4 years in a row. In fact, one of my buddies, Gail Stamford, is on tonight, and we were cooks together there, and we were in the field together, and we ran equipment together. And one of the things that Gary had us do, I think it was me and Gail Mack, though. Gail, I think you were gone that time when we did the crystals. Were you there? She'll answer eventually. But anyway, so Gary,
I was not there at that point.
Right, I think you had to leave for some reason. But Gail Mack and myself did. Gary handed us crystals. They were Brazilian cut crystals, and I don't remember now how many there were. I think there were 9 or 7. I don't remember how many there were exactly. And he said, go into the kitchen and get a bottle of purification and a bottle of abundance, and I want you to rub these crystals. And they weren't much bigger than probably a $50, but they were completely round. They were balls. And we rubbed them both, one with purification, and then we layered it with abundance, and then we brought them back to Gary. And Gary took those crystals and he placed them in the condensator of our 8-ton cookers. We have the largest cookers in the world in Idaho, Highland Flats, in up north Idaho, and they're huge. The 8 tons is a lot. And in those, in fact, they're so large that those covers are on hydraulics in order to get the covers up and down. You can't lift them. And so all of the water that comes off of the condensation of that distillation goes through crystals, which Gary believed, and I believe, enhance the frequency of our oils even greater. And that's why I think that probably the Idaho Grand Fir, because that's where it's distilled, and he probably does the same thing at the distillery at Fort Nelson, has such a higher frequency. So yeah, we're going to talk about different oils and their different frequencies tonight. And I want you to kind of keep in mind that 46 or 47 megahertz. Okay, so let's talk about the importance of smell. First of all, when you smell an aromatic molecule, when I open this sacred angel and I breathe it in, those molecules, very, very tiny, very, very fine molecules, go up into my nasal cavities, up into what we call the olfactory system. They hit what we call olfactory bulbs. And you can't see them real well here. It says olfactory bulbs. And then there's a little postage stamp size bulb that has little hair-like projections that pick up those little aromatic molecules and bring them into the brain and bring them into the bloodstream. Those olfactory bulbs are what do that. If you have damaged the frontal part of your head or your face, and you have damaged those olfactory bulbs, you may never be able to smell essential oils again. But I will tell you, whether you can smell them or not, the therapeutic value is still there. Still put them on your body, still rub them on, still take them internally, still diffuse. Because whether or not you can smell it, it's still got an effect on your body. So when we breathe through this olfactory system, it travels to the amygdala portion of the brain. And this is where it creates emotional responses. I know that the first thing that I did when I opened this bottle of Sacred Angel, and this Sacred Angel is only available until tomorrow at noon Mountain Time, by the way. And it's a 15 ml bottle. But when I opened this and I started breathing it, all I could think of was, oh my gosh, it feels like my head is expanding. So I don't know, it's really hard to articulate, but it feels like I'm expanding. My head is expanding. I don't know if that's with knowledge or
Air.
air.
Mhm.
I don't know that it's air. But by breathing essential oils on a daily basis, we can release long-standing negative emotions, and we can think of ourselves as expanding or enhanced in some way. And these negative emotions also are part of the limbic region, which is the frontal lobe. This is the seat of the emotions, and the amygdala sits right behind there. So what we want to do is we want to uplift that area. We want to get rid of negative vibrational frequency. There are other positive emotional triggers. Exercise is one of them. That's why I love to walk. Exercise helps to lower cholesterol and it strengthens the cardiovascular system. But in addition, exercise stimulates the release of hormones and transmitters that make people feel good. So if you have some type of exercise that you enjoy doing, whether it be bike riding or walking or running or an elliptical or a treadmill, you must do it. You must do it to get those hormones and neurotransmitters released, those feel-good hormones. They release things like dopamine and serotonin, and these are what keep us feeling good about ourselves and about our life. Meditation is also a positive emotional trigger. And meditation is a way of connecting with that place inside that is happy and joyous and free. Can you read the last one?
Essential oils are a natural health substance taken from the plants. They have a complex chemical structure and are extremely powerful in promoting physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, which is why God in his infinite wisdom, if you go back to Genesis, on the third day, put plants in the Garden of Eden, and it was for our food and for our medicine. This was not happenstance.
Okay, so smell produces thought, and 80% of our physical problems can be directly related to our emotional health. If you think you're ill, you're going to be ill. If you think you're healthy, you can be a little bit healthier by just thinking that way. You've heard of people who are hypochondriacs. They're actually making up disease in their mind. 80% of physical problems can be directly related to our emotional health. Negative emotions compromise our immune system. Stress compromises our immune system. We begin to create something called cortisol, which Gary used to call the death hormone. And too much cortisol can cause damage to our bodies. So negative emotions, we need to get rid of them. Stress, and here it is, stress increases cortisol levels in the body, and raised cortisol levels, it results in fight or flight response, which can be very, very draining on the adrenal glands, and you end up feeling more fatigued in the long run. So stress away is a good one to use to just ground yourself. We need to take some time every day just to ground ourselves and get ourselves in harmony with nature and God, and just feel better. Give yourself some quiet time. I enjoy mine. Okay, so we're going to go through the feelings kit tonight. There are 6 oils in the feelings kit. The first one starts with Valor. We're going to go through each one. Then we're going to go through harmony, forgiveness, inner child, present time, and release. And then I have 2 bonus oils at the end of this presentation that I'm going to share with you, because I think that they cannot be forgotten and are a very important part of our daily routine. So Valor, look at the frequency of Valor. It's approximately 47 megahertz. It includes the oil of rosewood, blue tansy, frankincense, and spruce, and it does have a carrier oil of almond in it. Now, I put a roller ball on my Valor, and I keep it right here by my computer, because there's a couple of things that Valor does. Number one, it balances the electrical energies in the body. Oh, my Valor must be empty. I keep using it. That's what happens if you keep using your oils. They eventually go empty. And then you got to go upstairs and get another one. Thank goodness for the sale that's going on where you can get a 15 ml bottle of Valor. This old bottle of Valor that you see on the picture here, that was a 15 ml, and we haven't had a 15 ml in many years. So it ends tomorrow at noon. You can still get a 15 ml bottle of Valor. So 47 megahertz. Valor balances the electrical energies in the body. I keep it at my computer because I'm in front of my computer. I do a lot of work at my computer, and I need to balance those electrical energies because radio frequencies can jack with your nervous system, the central nervous system for sure. And so this balances that out, and it helps to actually protect you from electromagnetic frequencies, EMF. The second thing that Valor does is it supports the musculoskeletal system. And something that I find is really interesting is that bones and your skeleton vibrates at 47 megahertz. Remember I told you that organs of the body vibrate a little bit differently? Well, they have tested the skeletal system of the human body, and it averages about 47 megahertz. Cats purr at 47 megahertz. So they have also found that if you have a broken bone, maybe you've broken your leg, having a cat lie next to you and listen to them purr is actually healing. And that has been documented. I'm not a cat person so much. We're dog people, but I just find it very interesting information. So 47 megahertz is pretty important, even though it's at the low scale. I mean, it's a lot higher than 12 to 22 for herbs because we're getting the concentrated live essence of that plant. So here it is. Valor balances the electrical energies in the body, and it supports the musculoskeletal system by helping to align the spine and aid the body in self-correction. So if you have a significant other, this is something that I would recommend that you do. Put a roller ball on your Valor, take it away from your computer, bring it into the bedroom, and before you go to bed at night, have your loved one roll that Valor along the spine. Now, you can do VitaFlex on that spine as well, but just rolling it on there is going to help support that musculoskeletal system. And as you sleep and as you turn during the night, you will self-adjust. I highly recommend you using Valor before going in for a chiropractic adjustment. You will, the chiropractor will be able to adjust you 60% easier, and your adjustment will last 75% longer. And these facts are found in the Essential Oils desk reference under the Essential Oil blend of Valor. So you'll be able to read that for yourself. Breathing Valor also helps instill courage, confidence, and self-esteem. I was really amazed when I went to Diamond Bound. I think it was last year. And all of these diamonds and crown diamonds and royal crown diamonds were talking. And I would say that 80% of them made the statement as they came out on stage. Now we're talking diamonds, crown diamonds, and royal crown diamonds. And this is what they said. Oh yeah, I had to give myself that hit of Valor before I came out here. Oh yeah, I had to rub that Valor on my wrists because I'm scared to death to be standing in front of you talking. And there was probably 4,000 of us at Diamond Bound last year. And I was just amazed. Number one, that a diamond at all, diamond, crown diamond, or royal crown diamond would have any, what do you call it, intrepidation?
Problems.
Any problems speaking in front of people. Because that's one of my gifts. God gave me the gift to speak in front of people. I have no issues. I taught at convention, I think it was in 2005 or 2007 maybe. And I talked in front of a huge crowd at convention. And I wasn't the least bit nervous. But if you feel that you lack courage or confidence and self-esteem, you better be pouring Valor on yourself all the time, especially if you have to speak in church, or you want to do a little Facebook Live video for your team, or just want to share a little story or whatever. Put your Valor on.
Business presentations to do.
Speak up, Mr. C.
That's it.
Okay, I don't know if they heard you. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about, got to put the Valor down right now. Whoa,
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
is my harmony. Well, I had to cover off because I was putting it on. So harmony, look at all the oils in harmony first off. Geranium and rosewood, lavender and sandalwood, frankincense, orange, lemon, angelica, hyssop, Spanish sage, jasmine, Roman chamomile, bergamot, ylang-ylang, palmarosa, rose, and spruce. That's a lot of oils. It has a frequency of approximately 101 megahertz. It's a pretty high frequency oil blend. The uses and application of harmony. Harmony actually promotes physical and emotional healing. You need to be putting harmony on every single day. And I'm going to give you a daily protocol at the end of this class, a habit or a ritual that you can get into so that you can use these particular oils every day. You can rub harmony over the heart. It opens the heart. And it's very important that we have our heart open without being vulnerable. Learning to open our heart to others without being vulnerable. I actually visualize in my mind the opening of big doors. And inside, I don't know if you are familiar with the Old Testament, but the Old Testament talks about the Ark of the Covenant. And that the Ark of the Covenant was sequestered, so to speak, behind the veil. It was in the Holy of Holies. And no one was supposed to approach the Ark of the Covenant, save the priests, and unless they had to move it. And then no one was supposed to approach the Ark, because if they touched it, they could die, I guess. Because God's omnipotence was so, powerful. Well, when I believe, and I'm not here preaching to you, I'm just sharing you my belief system right now, so you can, throw it out or you can take it to your heart. But my belief system is when Christ was crucified on the cross, that veil was rent. It says in Scripture that veil was torn, and that ability to come to God through the advocate of Christ was now ours. And so when I open my heart and I visualize what they call the Shekinah glory, which resonated or emanated the frequency over that Ark of the Covenant. And if you know what the Ark of the Covenant looked like, it was two angels, and their wings touched at the top. It was a large box, and inside the box was the 10 Commandments and Aaron's rod and some other things. But the point being is I visualize my heart being open and God being in. It says in Scripture, I stand at the door and knock. Any man let me in. I'm going to come and sup with him and be with him. And I have accepted that I have God or Christ or Jesus in my heart. So I see that. And I believe that harmony can help you to open your heart. We can love deeper. We can love more. We can be of better service. It will stop feelings of discord. And this is my wish for you, that we become better for one another, that our community gets very, very strengthened, that we've got each other's back, that we trust each other, that we have confidence in one another. All of these things are very important to me, and I hope that they're important to you. And I want to impart some of these things to you as we talk. Harmony is uplifting and elevating, and it creates a positive attitude. And wearing harmony as a perfume or even a cologne, guys can wear this as a cologne as well, will actually emanate and affect those around us as well. So I call ourselves human diffusers. We're actually walking, talking diffusers. We wear our oils, and of course now we have the 6-foot distancing, social distancing. But when that's over, we will be back in the public, and we will be back around closer to each other. And we can be that human diffuser. We can be the person who brings harmony into the lives of others. The next oil we're going to talk about is forgiveness. And forgiveness is a 5 ml small bottle. It's power packed. I'm telling you, it has rose and Melissa. These are 2 of the highest priced oils. So forgiveness is a good oil blend to purchase if you want those 2 oils, but you don't want to spend that much for them. If I do get rose oil, I put it in a spray bottle, like 10 drops, and then I make a rose spray. And then I take a little label and I put rose on the top. And this is my rose spray. So it'll make it go a lot further. And it's almost like a perfume. It's really good for your skin, and it uplifts you. But you can do that with any oil. You can make a spray bottle. I've got a spray bottle here of purification. I've got a spray bottle here of Hawaiian sandalwood. I mean, this is how I extend my oils. So just think, if you put a spray of rose and a spray of Hawaiian sandalwood, I'm gonna be more than you can handle tonight. So that's just another way of utilizing your oils. So look at all of these oils: Heliochrysum, Angelica, frankincense, sandalwood, lavender, geranium, lemon, jasmine, Roman chamomile, bergamot, ylang-ylang, and palmarosa. Now, one of the things that you're going to find is that all of these emotional oils have a lot of these same oils in common. And that's because all of these uplift the spirits, especially the biblical oils and especially the citrus oils. Citrus oils have actually been studied in studies of depression and have shown to be very effective in raising people's attitude and raising them out of depression. So let's talk a little bit about forgiveness, because that's a tough one. Have you ever had someone wrong you and you knew in your heart that you needed to just let it go, but you couldn't? Your heart was heavy, your heart was burdened, your heart was hurt. And you may have even prayed and said, Lord, take this from me. I don't know how to get rid of this feeling of hurt. The approximate frequency to this oil is 192 megahertz. Forgiveness is giving up the possibility of a better past. So whatever happened in the past, we need to forgive it. We may not forget it, but we can do that with the oil of forgiveness and asking God to bless our efforts in lifting that off of our heart and literally forgiving them. You know, forgiveness is a humbling thing. You might need humility with that. We have the oil of humility as well. It is humbling to admit that you're wrong, even if you don't believe that you were at cause. A lot of times it takes 2 to tango, guys. And if somebody has hurt you, maybe you said something that inadvertently offended them. Forgiveness is a definite feeling. And we need to encourage that feeling and bring it out. You know, the disciples asked Jesus one time, Rabbi, how many times must we forgive? And he basically answered 70 times 7. Now, I wouldn't stop at 149 times, or 490 times and not forgive the 491st time. I think he was just saying you need to always be willing to forgive. 7 is the heavenly number. So I believe that there was some, numerological significance to 70 times 7 as well. However, more importantly is always forgive. Now, how would you use this oil? I would recommend that you rub it on your navel, put it in your hand. Always if I have some new people on tonight, I know I had a lot of new people on the other night. I have new people on. We never shake our oils out of the bottle. You open the oil bottle. I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to put out my non-dominant hand, which it says in the book of Leviticus, and you drop the oil. You let it drop. This keeps the life in it. Then you take the two fingers of your dominant hand, and you rub that 3 times in a clockwise manner, circular manner, clockwise, and that just enhances the frequency of the oil a little bit more. It just gives more energy to that oil. So you can put it on your navel, you can breathe it in deeply. It's going to promote physical and emotional healing. We feel hurt, feelings of hurt physically. We do. We feel it either in our solar plexus or in our heart. It feels heavy. It hurts. That so-and-so, that our best friend said what she said, or won't talk to me anymore, or my sister won't call me anymore, or whatever. And we need to forgive them and love them. So it will combat those feelings of discord and reduces stress. It may heal those feelings of hurt. It releases harmful memories. Again, you're not going to forget the incident, but the hurt is what we're trying to dissipate here. And it will be uplifting, creating a positive attitude. And when you are in prayer with this, use affirmations. When Moses went to the burning bush and Moses asked who he was, he said, I am. And if God in you, the hope of glory, you are as well. I am healed. I am a child of God. I am no longer feeling abandoned or hurt emotions. I am forgiving my sister for saying the words that she said to me. And believe it. Feel it on an emotional level as you breathe in forgiveness. The next oil that we're going to talk about is Inner Child. And Inner Child comes in a 5 ml as well. And they all come in the Feelings Kit. It's 98 megahertz. But look at the orange and tangerine right off the top. These are those citrus oils that are going to be very uplifting to you. It has jasmine. It has ylang-ylang. Can you do me a favor? Put more water in there. It has sandalwood. And I was just spraying myself with Hawaiian sandalwood. This came from Kona, Hawaii. And it was sent to me by my upline platinum. It has spruce. It has lemongrass. And it has neroli. Neroli, for those of you who are new or maybe just don't know, is the essential oil from the orange blossom. The orange blossom, as opposed to the rind, the citrus, the cold pressed citrus rind. So this is a very, very fragrant and wonderful oil blend. What the use of Inner Child can do for you is it can help you to reconnect with your authentic self. And I think too many times, thank you so much, as we get older, oh, this is cold. You gotta have that water. I think so many times as we get older, especially when you're caught up in a workaday world, And I find this more with women than with men, that they forget about the little child that they once were. That giggling little girl that used to spin around and want to be a ballerina or fairy or fairy godmother or whatever. And we forget to have fun, and we forget to be who we really are. We're not the person at work. We're not a mom. We're not a wife. Those are titles. Even your name, it's just your name. It's words given to you, and I'll probably use my name for the rest of my life. But it's not who I really am. My authentic self, my loves, my desires, my passions, my dreams, my hopes, my talents and abilities that God has given me. All of the things that God gave me to help me to become me. I need to keep connected with that, or at least reconnect on a frequent basis. So taking 1 or 2 drops and breathing inner child in deeply. You can apply this one to your navel as well, to the chest, to the temples, and under the nose. And just think about when you were that little child, when you were free, when you weren't worried about what other people thought, when you could spin around on one toe, when you could lay in the grass and you could look up to the clouds and you could see animals, and you could think about the things that you were going to become someday. I remember that little girl. And much of my life now at 60, I got 2 weeks left, 3 weeks left, I think, and I'm going to be 67. I think I do it now more than ever, connecting with my authentic self, because I have the time, I take the time, and I love just being peaceful with myself. When children have been abused or misused, they become disconnected from their inner child or their identity, which causes confusion in later life. So inner child is really the first step to finding emotional balance. Inner child can be very helpful in any trauma that we've had. And you might want to use it in conjunction with Trauma Life or Sarah, especially if you have had some abuse in your life. Sarah is an oil blend, a Young Living oil blend, spelled S-A-R-A, and it's actually an acronym, and it stands for sexual abuse, ritual abuse. So if you know of someone, or you have had that kind of abuse in your life or mistreatment in your life, sit with these. Ask God to forgive the people who abused you, and find your authentic self, because you are really, really awesome. And God has an awesome plan for you. The next one I want to talk about is present time. And present time only has 3 oils in it, but I feel that it's very, very powerful. It has neroli, it has ylang-ylang, and it has spruce. And it is in a carrier oil of almond. It has an approximate frequency of 98 megahertz. What we find in today's mental world of technology, I think many years ago when Microsoft Windows first came out, we were taught the terminology multitasking, because we could open up many windows, we could do many things at one time, we could check our banking and check our email at the same time, and maybe even watch a video or whatever. I don't think we watched videos much back in the day. We didn't have 4G. It wasn't as fast as it is now. But we multitasked. And I remember moms even kind of lauding themselves for being able to multitask. I'm doing all these things at once. I'm raising my children. I'm doing the laundry. I'm studying to become a lawyer. And I'm doing all of these things. And oh, by the way, I have a Young Living business. And And I think what has happened is it stressed us out to the point where we forgot how to live in the here and now. I want to talk to you about the uses and application of present time. It can help to create a positive attitude about the future and new possibilities if you're thinking in the moment right now. Present time will evoke feelings of being in the moment. You can rub it over the sternum, that's the breastbone, or the thymus area, that's that little notch right here in the bottom of your throat. You can rub it on your neck so that you're speaking present time. You're not speaking the past, talking about what somebody did in the past or what you are going to do in the future. You should be doing now. That's a really good place to put it, is right over the neck and the throat and the thymus. You can put it on your forehead because this is where we think, and you can put it on the auricular points of the ears. I find this to be very healing. You can breathe deeply because it helps us to get centered, and we should try to use this one on a daily basis. One can only move forward when in present time. So wear this as a perfume or a cologne, and I think that you'll find it very empowering. The last oil in the feelings kit, but remember, I want you to stay on because I have two bonus oils, is release. And I love this picture of this dove being released because this is the feeling that you're going for when you use release. Release has a frequency of approximately 102 megahertz. It has ylang-ylang, lavender, geranium, sandalwood, and blue tansy in this blend. It's pure essential oil blend. There is no carrier oil in release. Some of the things that you can use release for is releasing memory trauma from the cells. Anger is stored in the liver. So I want you to take a few drops if you have anger issues, and I want you to rub your hand and I want you to put it over your liver. And I want you to do this every day over the liver. If you are angry with something or someone and you can't shake it, release it by using release over the liver. Emotions play a part on becoming a part of our cellular structure. They come into our bodies and they don't leave unless we learn to release them. You can also rub it on the liver vitaflex points on the bottom of the feet. And if you have an essential oils desk reference, it has a picture of the vitaflex points on the bottom of the feet. But I've always been one to say, just rub it all over the bottom of your feet. Breathe it deeply to stimulate a sense of feeling freedom and being unburdened. It brings about a sense of peace and emotional well-being. You can also use release in conjunction with colon hydrotherapy because a lot of times we hold on to a lot of crap, if you will. And by using release, by dropping it over the belly and massaging it during colon hydrotherapy, you can have a physical release, which may be connected directly to an emotional release. We hold on to a lot of baggage, both physically and emotionally, and we need to let it go. You know, as I've heard different songs, it says, lay it at the feet of the cross. Let it go. Just let it go. So begin experiencing your feelings kit today. You can get all of these oils in one kit, this exquisite collection. And there's a couple of ways that you can get it. If you are not a wholesale member already, and I would hope that most people on here would be, but we have quite a few people and I haven't been able to see all of you. But if you are not already a member, the very, very best way to become a member is getting wholesale pricing by getting the premium starter kit. This is a picture of the premium starter kit. It comes with 13 exquisite oils that you can use all day long. It has the oil of Valor in it already. It has the oil of Stress Away and Peace and Calming. Stress Away is awesome. It has peppermint and lavender and lemon. It has digize and frankincense and Panaway. It has some great oils in here. You will then get 24% discount on all future Young Living products for the rest of your life. You'll also get a couple of packages of our Ningxia Red Juice to try. This strengthens the cardiovascular system and increases healthy eyesight. And there are no annual fees. The only thing that we ask that you do is that you purchase $50 in a year to stay an active member. If you have become an inactive member and you'd like to reactivate your account, and you've only been inactive for a couple of years, all you have to do is place a 50 PV order. Now, if you've been inactive for 4, 5, 6 years, I recommend that you start with another premium starter kit. And the reason is because you need to be using your diffuser. You need to be using these oils. These are hand-picked oils. These are the very best that you can start with. If you are already a wholesale member, then you can get the Feelings Kit at wholesale already. But if you're not and you just want the Feelings Kit, you're not interested in getting a diffuser, which I don't understand, but maybe that's the way you want to do it, you can buy a basic starter kit, which offers 1 or 2 bottles of oil. I think it's Stress Away and a roller ball, possibly a bottle of Peace and Calming, a couple of packs of our Ningxia Red. I think it comes with a tin of Thieves Mints, and then you can get your Feelings Kit at wholesale. That basic starter kit is $45. The premium starter kit is $165, but you're getting 13 bottles of oil. You're getting a Thieves hand sanitizer and a Thieves spray, and you're getting a diffuser. So this is really the best value. In fact, I buy these over and over again because when I run out of some of these oils that I use on a regular basis, this is the best value. I get another diffuser. It's a good deal. It's a very good deal. The 2 bonus oils that I want to talk about, the first bonus oil is Joy. And Joy has a frequency of approximately 188 megahertz. It has Rose in it again. You'll see that Rose, vibrating at 320 megahertz, is found in just about every one of these emotional oils. It also has Bergamot, which is a citrus oil. It's just like an orange, except it's a green fruit. It's about the size of a grapefruit. And they cold press that rind. Mandarin is a citrus oil. Ylang Ylang, very uplifting, and lemon, a citrus oil. Plus, lemon has been shown to increase white blood cell production in the bone marrow. And that's really important for immunity. So, and we're all about immunity right now, aren't we? So what does Joy do? It enhances the frequency of self-love. I want you to use Joy every day, and I'm going to give you a protocol here in just a minute. I want you to breathe it deeply. It'll stimulate the sense of being free and unburdened, and it will help to alleviate depression. I call this the #1 oil blend for depression. I do. If you or a loved one or anybody that you know suffers from depression, please get them a bottle of Joy. It inspires romance and it brings joy to the heart. And last but not least, and they're having a sale on this right now. I haven't had a 15 ml bottle of white Angelica since I can remember when. And we've been buying them in the little 5 mils. And boy, howdy, I go through one of those like nobody's business. I love white Angelica, and I use it every day. So what does it have in it? It has rose, melissa, sandalwood, ylang-ylang, geranium, spruce, myrrh, hyssop, bergamot, and rosewood. Check it out. Pretty much, you know, a lot of the oils that we've talked about tonight. It has an approximate megahertz of 89, but I want you to really take a good look at this picture. When I found this picture to do this presentation for you guys many years ago, I knew immediately that this was expressing what I feel when I use White Angelica. This is expressing the visualization that I have when I use White Angelica. I envision an angel behind me with her hands on my shoulders, and literally her wings enfold or encompass me. In Psalms 91, it says, "He will cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler." I believe that we are protected. We are protected from the viruses and the negative influences from the outside interferences. And White Angelica helps that. It gives us spiritual protection. It neutralizes negative energy. And it actually may help to alleviate night terrors. So if you have kids in your home that wake up, you know, with night terrors, they might be screaming and crying and sweating, and oh, it's just a horrible, horrible nightmare. Diffuse White Angelica in their bedroom and also rub it on the bottom of their feet. You might want to rub it on their shoulders or teach them this protocol that they can use with White Angelica only before they go to bed, depending on their age. If they're like 5 or 6, they can do this. And it will protect them from those negative entities that may literally be giving them terror. There are frequencies, negative frequencies that live and dwell in places that they choose to do, and we need to cleanse our house of these, and White Angelica will do that. It's very calming and soothing, and it creates a feeling of wholeness. And all you do is you put 1 drop on each shoulder, and I'm going to show you how to do this. And then you're going to brush the entire body from head to foot. So this is the protocol. This is the recipe. This is, I think Vicki got this from Gary, but it's been called Vicki Offers Mood Enhancing Protocol for a very, very long time. And this is how it works. Every morning, before you go to work, before you leave the house, before you get on a call, as you start your day, I want you to take your Valor, and if you don't have a roller ball on it, you can get extra roller balls, by the way. They don't have any PD, but you can order them on your order. Or drop 2 drops on the inside of your wrist. 1 or 2 drops. And then take your wrists and rub them together and hold it for about 15 seconds. And then I want you to take Harmony. So I have these in my bathroom, right? And it's the first thing that you can do in the morning. And then I take my Harmony oil. I drop 1 drop of Harmony in my hand. I rub it around 3 times. I take it off my palate. I call that my palate. And I rub it on my solar plexus. Now where that is it's between the sternum or the bottom of the breastbone and the navel. That's your solar plexus. This is where we connect with people. And so you want to have an harmonizing influence when you're around people. The third oil is Joy. And I have a roller ball on my bottle of Joy. And I actually dilute my Joy because I'm finding my Joy here. I'm finding my Joy. And I've got it in a very old bottle because I just keep adding to this. I add new Joy oil and then I add a carrier oil because I am very sensitive. This is the old, it's old Joy bottle, but it still works and I still have a roller ball on it. And what I do is I take this and I roll it over my heart. Now, if you don't have a roller ball again, what you're going to do is you're going to put 1 or 2 drops of joy directly into your hand. You're going to rub it around. You're going to take it off your palate. You're going to put it over your heart. Your heart sets a little bit to the left of your sternum or your breastbone. So it's just a little bit to the left. And you're going to rub your heart with joy. And then, of course, I breathe it in. This is just habit with me. 21 years, you can't break a good habit, right? You don't want to. And then the last oil is white Angelica. And so I'm going to stop the share right now so that you can see me. And if you click on speaker view, you can see me big. Let's see, I'm not, okay. If you speak, yeah. So, and oh, by the way, my t-shirt says, I call myself a wellness advocate only because freaking awesome miracle worker is non-compliant. So that's what you're going to see on my t-shirt. So I take my white Angelica and I put 2 drops in the palm of my hand. I take and I rub those 2 drops and I take them off my palate and I put it on my left shoulder and my right shoulder. I start at the crown of my head. And I begin to put that aromatic influence all the way around my body, all the way to the floor. Now, another thing I do, especially if I've just gotten out of the shower and I'm doing my protocol, I'll run it through my hair. When I dry my hair, then that whole essence, all of those aromatic molecules are around and about me and in the room. And I'm set for the day. And I did this every day I went to work for the government when I was a government contractor, because I found the oils a year after I got out of the Army. And I used it all the time. People would be attracted to us in our cubicles. They would just come to us. And we knew it was because of the oils, that they were attracted to the oils. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again. Okay, so that's basically the protocol. I hope you got that down. I'm going to end this by telling you that if you are a Young Living member and you're not already on Essential Rewards, you are missing out on a lot. Get my dryer balls and the glass bottle. I'm not going to show you everything that I got for free this month, but because of Essential Rewards, thank you. Because of Essential Rewards, we earn points back on everything that we order every month. That order changes every month. There are certain items that I get every month just because I go through them every month. I use them every month. But Essential Rewards is a monthly order, and the minimum order is 50 PV. If you order 100, then they give you a free product, a free oil. I think Valor was a free oil last month, if I remember correctly. I think it was cinnamon this month, but you'll get a free product. If you order more than that, the next phase, I think, is 190, then you get more free products. 250, you get more free products. 300, you get more free products. If you order 100 PV in the first 3 months that you get on Essential Rewards, they're going to put 10% back into a piggy bank. So $10 is going to go into an account for you. And it's called your Essential Rewards points account. And those accumulate over the months. So the first 3 months, if you did 100, 100, 100, it'd be $30 at the end of those 3 months. At the end of 3 months, in the 4th month, that goes up to 20%. You get a 20% rebate on everything that you buy. So if you order $100 worth, you're going to get $20 put into that piggy bank. So now you have $50 in your piggy bank. And that will continue 20% until your 24th month of being a member on Essential Rewards. In the 24th month, that goes up to 25%, and it stays that way for the rest of your life. 24% off of retail is what you get as a member. And now you get an additional 25% back. That's 50%. That's about 50% off. You know, I have heard people say that I can't place an order right now because I can't afford it. Well, if they had been on Essential Rewards, they could get a free order. All of this stuff that I got this month, I got an 8-pack of Ningxia Red. I got 2 buckets of Amino Wise. I got Deep Relief, Wintergreen. What else did I get? Oh, Prostate Health for Kenneth, Agiles. I got all of these products free because I used my Essential Rewards points. And also, because I spent so much, I got a set of premium dryer balls, and I got a beautiful glass Thieves spray bottle. Young Living it's a company that just keeps on giving. I mean, seriously. So this being on Essential Rewards is a no-brainer. And the reason I say that so emphatically is because there is something that you're using that you could be using from your own store. If it's laundry soap, or if it's household cleaner, or it's dish soap, or it's toothpaste, or it's deodorant, or any of the personal care products, shampoo, all of that, Young Living has the best. So I'm really pushing Essential Rewards to you tonight so that you really understand. And if you have any questions, you can always call me. We'll talk. You know, here's some recommendations. I think I have some recommendations. But also, if you don't have an essential oils desk reference, this is a resource that I highly recommend. And you get this from lifesciencepublishers.com. I apologize that it looks like that. Whoops. That book had been moved. It's not going to let me move it, is it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Not that too many of you really worry about that, but I know I have some people who are very critical and they want to tell me that something is not correct. So I'm going to make it right for them. Okay, so that's the essential oils desk reference. And then I recorded this tonight, so this will be out on my YouTube channel. It's called Christina Campbell, and you can find me out on YouTube. And pretty much that's it. I'm going to open it up for questions. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I can't seem to get that to, oh, there. And I want to welcome you to the wonderful world of Young Living, essential oils. So, do you have any questions? Did you learn a lot about frequency, vibrational frequency, and how oils can enhance frequency?
It was very informative, Christina. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. And who is speaking?
This is Nancy Batson. Yeah.
Of course, Nancy. I recognize your voice.
If you don't mind, could I call you this evening? My mother is in her last hours.
Oh, absolutely,
I would like
sweetheart.
to ask you about some oils.
Absolutely. Yes, please call me as soon as we get done here, Nancy.
Thank you.
And Nancy had actually wrote on the chat, she said, I wish I had known Christina when I joined Young Living years ago. I had no idea about essential rewards and all the benefits. Says, thank you for Christina for enlightening me on that and so many more things. You know, again, I'm here for you guys. I want you to know the truth. I want you to know the best value. This is hard-earned money that you're talking about, and you want to put it in the best place that you can. Does it matter what order the Good Day Protocol is applied in? No, we just have gotten in the habit of Valor, Harmony, Joy, and White Angelica. But I'm sure it's not going to be a bad thing if you put Harmony and then Joy. I mean, Harmony and then, you know, it just isn't going to matter, Leslie. You're getting it on there. What do you mix with rose? I just put water.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, I just put water in mine. I don't use witch hazel because I am very sensitive to it. Which it's a natural product, and yet I have not been able to use witch hazel in many, many years. And I don't want to use alcohol because I spray my body with it. So I just add water.
Thank you.
Pure water. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions? Leslie Berger, you always ask questions. Where are you tonight? I know you just got back to your apartment.
Christina,
Yes, Gail.